Yes, Linda made it, you guys. A virtual round of applause. It has been a long Monday, but she's here. Woohoo!
Monday, it is definitely Monday. You guys, I'm so sorry. Thank you for hanging in there, y'all. Season 2, episode 17, Peace at Last, 90 Day, The Last Resort. A lot going on, you guys. I'm Linda. That's Abby, the attorney. And if you don't know us, now you know. I'm having a whole thing. I'm still here. Thank you, Tanya, for being here. OMG! The family's in the house. Hey, Ray Della. Hey, Crystal. Hey, girl. Hey, I follow your journeys. Listen, I clearly need a vacation because it's been a minute. Well, it hasn't. I go to Canada every 5 seconds, but it's been a minute. Hi, Melody. Oh, the family's in the house. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. You guys make me feel happy. That makes me happy because these technical. So you guys, as you know, my studio is still down. Like I need a whole new studio, and that's going to be a whole thing. And then my laptop decided that hey, I'm going to act up. So it took me like all this time to just get it together, but I'm back. April, thank you for your patience.
It's fine. I've literally got nothing to do tonight, and I'm having the opposite of your day. Like today has been just fantastic for me. So.
Grace April has a bathroom fridge, y'all. She sent me the fanciness. Y'all know how I feel about the bathroom fridges, but I will say this. She's highfalutin now. And if you guys don't know, make sure you're following April, Abby, whatever. You're following her on TikTok because she's a clear influencer now. She's got like followers. She's doing the thing, talking about all the things, immigration. Y'all need to be following her immediately, if not sooner.
Come on, hang out with me on TikTok. It's a lot more fun than the work YouTube page. Like it's informational. I talked about immigration on there, but over here, it's just fun. Okay, so come hang out over here on this side, and it's much more personality. Just do not ask me where your work permit is because this is not for clients. This is for fun.
Listen, y'all, this whole thing, just like Canadians are peace and love. I don't understand why you have a problem with us. Like, I just don't get it. I'm having a real like come to Jesus moment because this is wild to me. But that being said, hey fam, we're gonna get started because we got a lot to get through. I have a lot of notes. April,
yes,
Peace at Last.
Yes.
It's episode 17. You know, we had the recommitment ceremony, all the things. What were your overall thoughts on the episode?
So my overall thoughts are things are going as we thought they were, but I had a hearty laugh at one of our characters. You probably know who I was laughing at. Our boy Josh. Our boy Josh was so upset that he didn't get the tearful reaction or the angry. He didn't get a big reaction from Natalie, and that upset him so much, and it pleased me greatly.
I agree. In my notes, it says multiple times, Josh sucks. Like, that's all I keep saying is Josh sucks because he does. And to feel validated and to be like, hey, yeah, I'm going to have to let you go. I'm going to have to release you. And she's like, okay. And she felt relieved. And he didn't get the satisfaction that the narcissist in him wanted to get. Blew his mind. It blew his mind.
He couldn't stand it. Like, but we had a friendship. We meant something to each other. Ha 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 ha, Josh. You're nothing.
I'm not mad at you, April. Can I tell you a funny story, y'all? I screamed at my TV when Josh got mad that Natalie agreed with him. Facts, Melody, facts.
Facts.
All right, Gino and Jasmine and Matt, because it is Gino and Jasmine and Matt. She's crying. She says sorry. They're gonna do this like whole 3-way phone call to talk about the rules for their open marriage. Matt and Gino talk. It was interesting to me, April, that she had Matt on FaceTime, but the face was looking at her and not at Gino because Gino didn't want to see what he looks like because Matt is much more attractive and much younger than him, but whatever. So we're all sitting there watching. It's awkward silence, awkward silence. Then finally, Gino says, "How did you guys meet? We met at the gym. Have you ever been intimate? No, she's married." Matt thinks it's wrong to cheat, which I find fascinating because fast forward, you guys, as we know in real time, Jasmine's having Matt's baby. So I laughed at that. Are you single? Yes, Matt's single. Have you ever been in a relationship? He laughed and said yes, quite a few. Gina wanted to make sure that he was going to practice safe sex. He said yes, of course. Obviously, that didn't happen. Because I don't know if you guys know how babies are made, but when Gino said wear a condom, clearly that went in one ear and out the other ear because now there's a baby. April?
I mean, accidents do happen, but they'll probably tell us. We can't escape them. Jasmine will tell us what happened.
Listen, as you guys know, I'm not super big on Rob, but I agreed with a lot of what Rob had to say, as well as Florian this episode. And I thought of you, April. I thought of you and you telling us what the rules were for an ethically non-monogamous open relationship were. And when you said you can't have that type of relationship when you guys both aren't coming into it equally and that you're coming into it with a deficit because something is wrong in your relationship, I was like, that's exactly what's happening. And Rob, who knew, was going to have the foresight and knowledge to say, hey, it can't be Matt. It can't be Matt. If you guys are now both on the same page and saying, yes, you're going to have an open relationship, then find someone new that you both agree on. But the fact that Jasmine was insisting that it be Matt said a lot to me. I don't know if it said a lot to you, but Jasmine wants to be with Matt. And she wants to still be married for whatever reasons. I have my personal opinions about it. But she wants to be with Matt, period. And that's what happened. And that's why she's having Matt's baby.
Yeah. Without them telling us more detail or without us seeing more, what I can see is that Jasmine has not been informed of exactly how an open marriage is supposed to work. So all the information she's bringing to Gino, I feel like she's doing her best to explain it and lay out what the rules are and her best to understand it. But she is unfortunately operating not really in the best place. In her mind, she thinks if he doesn't agree to Matt, then I'm going to still go back home in a sexless marriage and there'll be no one that he agrees to. She thinks, I think this is me making my assumption from what she said, that if they say, okay, we're going to have open marriage, we have to agree to someone, that he is going to go home and veto every single person that she suggests. So she's like, no, if you're serious about it, then it has to be Matt. And nobody is really explaining to her, here's the issue with you presenting Matt as the person. No, they're yelling at her about how they don't think it's a good idea, but nobody's explaining it.
I agree with that, but I don't agree with you. I agree with Tanya. The fact that it being Matt is not negotiable clearly shows it isn't about really having an open relationship or marriage and being fulfilled sexually. She's attracted to Matt and wants him, but we already knew this and we know this. Facts, Tanya. So
yeah, Tanya, I do agree. I don't think those are like, those two things go together. Like what Tanya's saying, what you're saying, it actually goes together. I don't think it's against each other.
Listen, she already is with Matt. She just wants to have her husband's approval to cheat and to have sex with him rather than just having the emotional affair that she's already in, period. Yeah. And y'all can try to explain this whole ethically non-monogamous nonsense to me, but to me it's nonsense, and that's not what this is. She has checked out because her husband has been not only emotionally neglecting her, but he's been physically neglecting her, and she's had enough. She found a younger, hotter guy that's attracted to her. she wants to be with him. And clearly she was with him because they're having a baby. So all she wanted to, in my opinion, she wanted to make sure that she was financially stable because, like April said, the lawyer April told us a few weeks ago that if she still stays married, then Gino is financially responsible for that child, whether it's biologically his or not, period. So guess what? She gets the best of both worlds because she stays in her marriage. She's going to get support financially for herself and her baby. She's also going to be able to sponsor her 2 other children that are back in Panama. So, like, there's no incentive for her to divorce Gino. So that's what she's going to do, and that's what she is doing. Now, do I think that they're going to be in a true throuple relationship where he's going to be cool because he doesn't want to lose her? Like, no. I think she's going to be with Matt. She loves Matt now. She found a younger, hotter version. He just doesn't have the money, and Gino's going to supply the money, period.
Yeah. And Matt is not going to be reliable. My prediction is he's saying, no, I don't do that with married women. But nobody, not Gino, not Jasmine, none of the therapists, none of them are acknowledging that her conversations with Matt about their marriage are already cheating.
Been cheating. They've been emotionally cheating.
Nobody's acknowledging that.
Listen, y'all, I said it last week and I'm going to say it again. If you guys think that this is what therapy looks like, you're highly mistaken. And I don't want you guys to get sidetracked. If you actually really want to go to individual therapy or group therapy or any type of therapy, do not base what therapy looks like on this show because that's not what this is. Period. And I got irritated, April, when they were like at the recommitment ceremony saying, oh, you guys put in the work. What? They put in what work? Because what tools did you give them? The only person that I have respect for is Reba, the sex therapist, who actually gave them tools and activities to figure out their sex lives. Everyone else, nonsense. And I'm still waiting for you guys to respond to my previous video where what is it that y'all were doing? That being said, Gino's okay with Matt as long as they wear a condom and as long as they do not develop their friendship between Jasmine and Matt anymore. And if they do develop a friendship or they do develop feelings for each other, then they have to cut it off. They're not allowed to work out together. It can only be about sex. But he already sees that there's a bond and that they're falling in love and he is not appreciative of it because he doesn't have that same bond with Jasmine. He feels like they're too attached. And Matt says to him, listen, Jasmine's fragile. She's very feminine. She's delicate. And you need to have a delicate way of talking to her. Yes, she can be a brat, but she has a good heart. And Gino ignores that and says, that's between her and I. And I was like, again, no one, for some reason this season, no one can hold Gino accountable. Not even his brother, Florian. Gino is just shut down. Like, why can't we confront Gino on his issues, Abby?
I don't know. No, nobody seems to be willing to. Now, he did say in the companion show, Bears All, he said that there was a problem with her plastic surgery and that her butt implants got inverted and it wasn't particularly pleasant. But on this show, what we're seeing, nobody really delves into why he's holding off being physically affectionate. Let's not say not even talk about like full on, but even just the affection. She says that she's missing the touches and the hugs and the kissing, all of that too, which is where I think his issue with Rob completely differs. Rob is saying, well, if I haven't had sex in 9 months, you can do it too. But Rob has had affection. Jasmine has not.
Listen, I'm tired of Gino blaming Jasmine for everything. Take responsibility for the things that you are and are not doing. You're not being affectionate. You're not having sex with your wife. You're using sex as a punishment and a tool against her. You're telling her she needs to, quote unquote, listen to you and obey you. All the things that I don't know what you called it, April, but you called it something with Ari that I was like, yeah, maybe it's that, but maybe it's just he's avoiding whatever trauma that he has had in his life that he has not had to deal with. So he has a real life sugar baby now because, you know, his whole life, besides his wife, and his wife, you guys, fun fact, his wife agrees with everything that Jasmine's doing. Fun fact that all the issues that Jasmine is having with him, she had with him, and that's why she divorced him. So
Wow.
these issues aren't brand new and they're not exclusive to Jasmine. And yet here we are where no one is addressing it. He has had, I don't know, we're 17 episodes in, 2 hours long. What is that, 2-3 months worth of therapy, and not one therapist addressed his issues. And he has multiple issues, you guys. He has obviously some type of sexual dysfunction. He has intimacy issues. He has control issues. He has money issues. He has a drinking issue. I mean, I could go on. I'm no registered therapist, but put me on the show and listen. We would have gotten to the bottom of it episode 5.
We don't even see them attempting to say, Gina, let's have a separate section about what's holding you up sexually. Because I want somebody to tell him, like, you guys have always been arguing with each other. So, like, what's different now? Like, somebody just really, besides Florian, and the problem with Florian being the one to bring it up is, like, the way that he brings it up is not going to really get an answer, but he's the only one that brings it up.
I'm for Florian. Be direct.
I appreciate him being the only one who brings it up, but I just know that the way he brings it up is just gonna just fuck you up.
I'm for it. I'm for it. Confront it, knock it right in the butt, because that's clearly what he needs. All right, we're moving on to Natalie. It's over with Josh. She feels left behind and used. Clearly, I said that episode 1. They should never have been on the show because he never wanted to be with you, Natalie. So yes, you feel left behind and used because he used you for a leg up, for the popularity, for the celebrity, for the influence, all of that, and you should have known better. So she's going to do the recommitment ceremony with herself. How did you feel about that, April? Because I have thoughts.
I think it would be reasonable if they gave her some goals to commit to, but just going to sit by herself, what does that accomplish? If they separately sat with her and said, okay, what are some things that happened with Josh that you want to change for your next relationship? What are some things you want to work on? How are you going to grow as a person, as an individual? You know, what do you want to commit to yourself? I didn't hear any of that.
So I thought it was trash. First of all, she got all dressed up, met the girls, did all the things, and we never saw her recommit to herself. What is she actually recommitting to? Because have we addressed her issues with 3 failed marriages, 1 failed relationship, and her continuing to feel like she can only place value in herself if she's with a man? Did we address that? Did we address the fact that she feels left behind? But what is it that if you're going to recommit to yourself, then you're recommitting to yourself, in my opinion, that you love yourself, that you know yourself, that you know your wants and your needs, and that you're okay with being a solo because what you bring to the table is too valuable to be downgraded. But none of that happened. I didn't see her recommit to herself. I saw her get dressed up, sit there, watch all the recommitment ceremonies, and then at the end they go party and drink, and she's like, "Oh, you know, no." Like, there are a lot of missed opportunities here, you guys, and I just continue to say that that's not what therapy looks like, in my opinion. You can't just say the words and there's no action behind it. So I was really disgusted by that. Josh is packing. He's leaving the resort because he feels there's, quote, no need to drag out the breakup. My note says Josh sucks. That's never the first time that I've said that, but that's the first time on this page. He feels disrespected because Natalie was relieved that they broke up. And literally my note says, LOL, what? You're disrespected. You disrespected her this whole relationship. 3 years together, she's never been to your house. 3 years together and you say to her, we've only been getting along for 2 weeks now, so no. 3 years together and you couldn't tell her if it was a real relationship, but you used her for her body and her good looks. Stop it. April, stop it.
Yeah, I don't even care for Natalie that much, to be honest. I don't like the way that she treats the other women, particularly the way that she treats Sophie. I do think there's some undercurrents of racism there. But even that said, I thoroughly enjoy Josh being crushed in this moment. May the crushing continue.
Terry Lynn says, and again, sorry, I heard the male therapist in an interview. Sorry, tech difficulties, you guys, tech difficulties. Saying that there were many hours of therapy not filmed. I don't believe it, Terry, for 1 minute. I don't believe it for 1 minute.
I would be willing to believe it if they referenced it. Like,
I don't believe it.
Oh, when I spoke to the therapist about this, or one of the things that they've been working on with me in my individual session was this. Like, we didn't hear any reference to specifically in-depth conversations about what Gino's hangup is about being intimate with Jasmine. There was nothing in-depth about that. In-depth conversations about how you should or should not enter into an open marriage. I don't think that you should do it with deficits in your relationship. Any in-depth discussions about safety around that. We heard
I don't believe it. It didn't happen. You guys know that I work in the industry. I work in production, and I know how production works. And what I will tell you, Terry Lynn, is that they did not do hours of therapy that was not filmed, period. Production is on a schedule. They're on a budget. They know exactly how much time they're spending on what they're spending it on and how it's going to be spent and how it's going to be produced. This is what it is, period. Don't believe the hype. It's easy to say to clean it up because, you know, people are asking the same questions we're asking, where why are we calling this therapy when there was no therapy involved? You guys did a group therapy session. We're seeing like 20 seconds of it, and we're not seeing any tools for the couples to use when they leave this resort. So let's not call this a therapeutic resort. Let's just call it a getaway, and we're airing out our dirty laundry and let the chips fall where they may, period.
Basically. Yeah, I agree.
Trash. Okay. Side note, second time I said Josh sucks. And why are his clothes just hanging from the valet cart? You guys took 5 seconds of my time to show him packing, and then all of his hangers. Listen, you guys, I know you all travel. I know you go to the hotels, and I know you see that the hangers that they provide there for you to hang up your stuff. I think it's like 90% of travelers don't use those hangers. They just keep their stuff in their suitcases. But he used the hangers, and then he took the hangers and put them on the valet cart and then rolled it out. I was like, why did you waste my time me watching him pack his stuff up if he didn't really pack his stuff up? And then why did he need the shuttle when he had that fancy car that he arrived in? Where's that? All of it, like that was poor production.
Correct.
The group's out for fun the night before the recommitment ceremony. They go to the bar because that's where they go. There's no Josh and Natalie. Obviously, there's no Ari and Binny. And I thought this line was super funny. Sophie said, you know, it's bad, it's sad, farewell, but Josh can be a hoe in peace. And I said, because those are facts.
Facts, Sophie.
Facts. So Rob's really bothered by Gino and Jasmine's open relationship. Julia tells Rob it's their marriage, and if they're okay with it, then it's okay, and it's really none of your business. Jasmine and Gino show up late, and Gino makes a joke, which I didn't think was funny, but because we haven't addressed his core issues. So Gino says they're late because, quote, they were banging it out. And then Jasmine says, I wish. And yeah, still no sex. 9 months into it. And by the way, side note, for the troll on Instagram that was trying to tell me, the entertainment reporter, and like you guys don't know a lot about me because I don't share a lot, but just know this, I research stuff before I say it out of my mouth because A, I know the internet is forever, and B, that's part of who I am. And if you follow me on Instagram, you guys know that I'm not going to report just on any willy-nilly. And if I want to report a rumor, I'm going to tell you it's a rumor. And for the troll that came to me and told me I didn't know my facts about how long Gino and Jasmine were married and their issue, you know what? You see that? That is what I say to you. The one thing that's standing up the most is what I say to you. Don't come for me with nonsense. I didn't have time this week because if I had time, I would have responded to you. But like, just know that all the fingers that are not sticking together are the ones that are meant for you. Okay, moving on. That was funny. I made that up right now. So Rob is super bothered by Gino and Jasmine's open relationship, doesn't agree with it, doesn't think it's okay.
Why do you think this is bothering Rob so much? Why does Rob care so much?
I think Rob cares because it's hitting a nerve with him and his relationship with Sophie, right? And the fact that there are rumors in the streets of the internet that he was not faithful to her. We saw in earlier episodes where she called him out for texting other girls and being on dating apps. So he's putting himself in Gino's position. Like, hey, if Sophie said, hey, go do you and be with all those girls that I'm accusing you of being, allegedly, and I'm going to do me, he would not like that because he wouldn't want her to be with anyone else besides him because that affects his manhood. That it affects like his masculinity. What do you think it is?
I was trying to understand why, because not only did he have this outburst here, but he is also like on Threads making multiple comments about it that just came across my feed. And I was just like, why does he care so much? Surely he has other things going on in his life that he could be talking about. Like, you could say your piece that you don't agree with what somebody's doing, but he seems to be overly concerned about it.
I think it hits a nerve for him.
Okay,
really
a nerve in a way that like he wouldn't want to do it. Sure, fine. You don't want it. Nobody's asking.
He wouldn't want Sophie to do it. He wouldn't want any woman that he's with to do it to him.
Sophie's not asking him.
But that's how because why else would he be so bothered? Men take things personally. So he's looking at himself in that situation, and that's why he's freaking out.
No need to freak out, Rob. Nobody's asking you to do that.
So Florian, who knew Florian was going to be the voice of reason in this whole season? And I just have mad respect for Florian and Stacey. They brought some stability that no other couple brought. So Florian tries to tell Gino to forget about Matt and just your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Problem solved. Problem solved. No. Gino's like, nope. And Rob's like, well, you know what? The other guy's going to give her what she wants that you're not giving her. And so why would she choose you? Which, again, foreshadows where we are right now because she's having Matt's baby. She's having Matt's baby. Everything Rob and Florian said in this season has come to fruition. Why would she choose you?
No reason.
Go ahead.
No reason. It makes absolutely no sense. Like when Gino repeats over and over, but I don't want you guys to have a friendship. I don't want you guys to grow closer together. None of the therapists reacted to that. Like, that's an unreasonable expectation. If you are actually practicing ethical non-monogamy or having a polyamorous relationship, you are friends with your other partners. So like,
Yo, I'm
that's just
so sick of
unreasonable.
you. I'm so sick of y'all. Not you, April, just y'all in general. I'm sick of it.
That
I'm sick
idea.
of it. I'm sick of it. I guess maybe I'm super conservative in that way, but like I'm tired of all the labels, the throuple, the ethically monogamous, friggin', what is the other thing? What is the other thing when they're married to like 10 people? The new show, there's a new show, by the way, on TLC where there are two married couples and they both have girlfriends and boyfriends, but the boyfriend and girlfriends are married. So there's
A
like 5.
polycule?
What is it called?
Polycule? I don't know. I'm guessing. I've never seen the show.
Oh, it's just coming out, you guys. I just got the press release, but it's wild. It's a man and a woman that are married together, another man and a woman are married together, and the man in the marriage is dating the other woman, and the woman in this marriage is dating the other. It's a mess. They have kids, they all live together.
Linda, these
Go ahead, April.
arrangements have always existed. They generally
I'm
not saying you have to accept it. I'm just saying these relationships have existed. They just have typically been to the detriment of the woman. Like polygamy has always existed. Men have, by and large, had 2 or 3 families at a time, and women have always typically been expected to just turn the blind eye to that fact. So these arrangements have existed for people who call themselves conservative. Men who call themselves conservative and Christian and honest have, for the longest time, died, and then their families find out that 2 whole families exist.
Yeah, no,
but
I don't care.
But I was going to bring something up, something that Sophie said right here that everybody brushed over, which made me pause and think, maybe I've been too harsh on Gino. She said, if Gino was a woman, it would be wrong for everyone to be pressuring her to have sex with her husband if she didn't want to. And then right after that, they started fighting with each other. So nobody really acknowledged her saying that. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I am being a little harsh, telling Gino, whatever your issues are, just, get over it. But he didn't have any support in working those issues out at this so-called therapeutic retreat. So, but I thought it was very intelligent of her, emotionally intelligent of her to say that. Linda's not rocking with it.
Bro's 56 years old, close to 60. You should have dealt with these issues long ago. This is not your first marriage. You're not 30. Okay? This is your second marriage that you met on sugarbaby.com. So you clearly had parameters of what you wanted and what you didn't want, what was expected of you and what was not expected of you. If you have sexual issues, dysfunction, whatever, tons of men have sexual dysfunction, but guess what? They don't deny it. They confront it and figure it out because that's part of their masculinity. The fact that you are gaslighting your wife, who was your girlfriend for 3 years, your wife for almost a year, and you're gaslighting her and punishing her by withholding sex. No, April, no. There's nothing you can tell me that makes this okay. And the fact that he went to a resort for friggin' 17 episodes and no one addressed his issues, every other issue was addressed. Even, well, no, I'll say some issues were addressed. We did address Josh being a narcissist. We didn't address Ari and Benny and that whole weird colonial issues. Yes, I'll say it like that. Colonial control issues. We didn't address Brandon and Julia and the fact that she's conceding to have a whole baby to keep her marriage together. I mean, I could go on and on. But long story short, no. My arms are crossed because I'm not impressed with any of this. And no, I'm not giving Gino a pass because he doesn't deserve a pass. And to be honest, I want to help him. not me personally, but just generally speaking, that he needs to go and actually get real therapy and deal with he has deep seated issues, you guys. Deep seated, and all of these years, 56 years of his life, he's never been able to release it. A, it's toxic. B, it's not healthy. And C, he's not going to be able to move forward in his relationships, any of them, if he doesn't address them, because they're, what's the saying? I know you guys, me with sayings, but I think I might nail this one. Everywhere you go, there you are.
That's correct. You said it right.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
So he can continue to try to run from himself, but he's going to always be there. And until he addresses those issues, they're going to continue to be there. So, what happened?
Tanya. What happened? Gino doesn't want to address his issues, just like he won't address that sad patch in the back of his head.
That's funny.
Tanya, you're
wrong. Thanks, Lori. Thanks, Lori. I always forget I'm the worst, and I wonder why my page isn't like growing as fast as I want it to. And look, it's not even clicking. Remember to like and subscribe to my page, to Abby the Attorney's page. Make it happen, you guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We appreciate the support. Stacy also agrees with Rob. She feels like Gino feels pressured to accept this new situation. And she saw Matt and Jasmine interact and feels like there are already feelings between the two of them. And this is my favorite thing of this entire episode, you guys. When Florian went to camera and said, Gino is dumb. He's dumb. He's dumb and stubborn. He's dumb. He's a dumb and he's a dumb stubborn. Those are facts. Whatever you know about English, that is all you need to know about this whole episode, this whole season. Gino is dumb, and stubborn.
Imagine how many more fantastic quips we would get from Florian if he could just have somebody to translate for him.
Listen, this man, I feel like might be a low-key genius, because you know what? That slapstick humor, that deadpan that I talked about even back when we were covering Darcy and Stacy seasons, he brings it, and I just love it. I love everything about it, because you have to be smart and witty to understand what he's talking about, and he does it like in the moment, y'all.
Quickly.
So good. Rob says that the only reason that Jasmine and Gino want the open relationship is because Jasmine's manipulating Gino, and it's definitely not only about sex. And if it is only about sex, then they need to start from the beginning, and it can't be Matt. That's what Rob said. What's your take on that, April?
I understand why he's saying it, because if you were in a relationship where you guys are equals, you're happy in your relationship, you're satisfied, but you're both people who want to explore other relationships, then that would be fine. Like, that's the standard, that's agreeable. But if you've already got someone that you've emotionally invested in and you're bringing that person into the relationship, one person, Gino, is saying, hey, I'm just doing this because I'm being pressured. It's the only way I can keep my marriage. This is already a very bad set. This is not a setup upon a firm foundation. So I do think that Rob has a point when he says it shouldn't be Matt. I completely understand that. However, Jasmine has not been given the tools to understand why it can't be Matt. And from her perspective, if it's not Matt, you're going to veto everybody. And I go home in the same situation I came here with.
And I appreciate the fact that you are giving Jasmine the benefit of the doubt. And allowing her to actually be not knowledgeable of what stupid ethically non-monogamous relationship. I know it, you guys, but like every time I go to say it, my whole body is like, what are you saying? That's an oxymoron and it sounds stupid. Don't say it. But that's why I like pause every time. But that being said, I think she knows exactly what it is. And I think she knows that that's not what this is. I think, and April, I know you're going to know as soon as I say this, but the fact that they met at the gym, they work out together. She had a whole like traumatic time trying to even get to the gym. And then that's her person. That's who she vents to. That's who she calls when she's in need. That's why he thinks she's fragile and needs to be spoken to a certain way and knows all the ins and out of her marriage. Listen, she's already in love with him. You're a woman, I'm a woman. You know how we work. If we're emotionally invested, if we're in love, listen, y'all could be ogre number 1 and 2. We don't see your ogre number 1 and 2 because we are emotionally attached to you, period. So don't tell me that she's like, oh, I don't know what ethically non-monogamous means. When she said it's non-negotiable, it has to be Matt, is because she's in love with him, period. And it's self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't even need to say anything else because she's having that man's baby. So there was no condom involved, period. Even if it was an accident. That's not what happened. He's younger, hotter.
You already know the story.
He's younger, hotter, period. She's having his baby, period.
Well,
he knows how to talk to her. Go ahead, April.
You know more than me, so maybe you already know the story, but there are quite a few people who have accidents and are not open to other options to resolving that accident. So it doesn't necessarily, it's not a reflection to me when I see somebody pregnant. It's not a reflection of how they feel about the person that they got pregnant by. It's more a reflection, and maybe this is because of where I come from. I'm from the Bible Belt area. A lot of people do not see, I don't know if I can say abortion, smortion. People don't see smortion as an option. So if there is an accident, they have a child. And that's not, when I see that, it's not a reflection of this person really wanted to have a kid, 1, this person wanted to be a mother, 2, this person enjoys the person that they are married to or partnered with. None of those things cross my mind. What crosses my mind first is, they couldn't have a smortion.
That's not what this
because
is,
of religion.
But I appreciate your logic. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. Period. It's not. Jasmine knows exactly what she's doing with her body, with her life, and with her relationship with Matt. And I'll leave it at that. So Jasmine freaks out. She feels everyone's ganging up on her and not supporting her choice to be with Matt. So she storms out. Jude and Florian get in a fight because Florian's like, you just need to bang it out with your wife. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but whatever. That's what Florian said. And I agree with him. Like, what's you're creating this issue. And even Florian said, you're the problem in this marriage. Yeah. Rob starts freaking out, says Jasmine is manipulating Gino. I'm still like, Gino and this whole, whatever it is, it's really a trigger issue for Rob. This situation with Gino is triggered.
It is very true. But what do you, Christina, too, what do you and Linda know that I don't know? Like, no, this is bugging me. How do you guys know they didn't use a condom?
How what?
What do you guys know that I don't know? How do you know that no condom was used?
I don't know, Christina, you want to take this? Or April, I can take it offline with you, but like...
No, Taylor, come here for a second. Let me show you my 21-year-old condom.
Okay, but April, I guess April, because we're getting a little sidetracked, but I will say this: you have a 21-year-old child. You only have one child. Right? This is Jasmine's 3rd child. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows her body, right? And like Jasmine said, and you guys, if I can find it again, I'll put it up on my Instagram. But she explained the whole thing. She basically was like, we filmed The Last Resort last year, and then they filmed The Tell All just recently this year. And so everything else filled out in between. So she got pregnant in between last year and this year. And she knew exactly what she was doing. And so it's not like I love you for thinking like, ooh, whoops, it was an accident. It wasn't an accident. And if you guys know anything about Jasmine, and April, you should know this especially, because when the rumors came out, you guys, as a professional journalist, I reached out to her. And she gave me, and her and I have corresponded throughout the years. As you guys know, I've covered 90 Days since day one. And we've corresponded throughout the years, and she treated me like she never knew me, like we never corresponded. She treated me like some peasant and said, I don't do interviews. I don't comment on rumors. If you want, you can ask the other cast members if I was pregnant at the tell-all, which I should have taken as a hint. But I didn't reach out to the other cast members because I didn't want to put them in that predicament. And so she didn't answer the question. And then 2 weeks later, she did. And I get it. It's about, this is what I'm trying to tell you, April. She's very smart and she's very strategic. She did a People magazine baby spread with Matt, which she got paid for, clearly. And it was beautifully and professionally done, and she looked beautiful. But I get why she didn't want to give a scoop for free, because everything is about the dollar bill at the end of the day. And I'm not mad at you. Get your money, get your bag, be in your bag, and all of that. But at the end of the day, for you to say, oh, she didn't know and it could have been this, it wasn't that. She's very strategic in everything that she does, April. And I guess that's what I know and Christina knows that you may not know. She's very strategic. She is not she's not a dumb person. She's a very smart woman. And this is a business to her, period.
Yeah.
And, having an anchor baby by a young hot man, it's not bad. Jasmine freaks out. I said that already. And Gino and Florian get into a fight. Rob freaks out as well. Stacey says this whole situation is crazy. Y'all, April, can you hold this for a second? Hold this for a second, okay?
What am I holding?
Just talk.
Oh. Let me see. All right, let's see. Let's go through some comments here. Okay. Backwards hat Gino's been waiting all session to call somebody. And why would he say that to They're buds. Why would he say that to Florian? Okay. You guys, something weird keeps on happening. Every time I start talking, the mic will mute me. Okay, I think we could do now. More comments. It's 98% effective when used correctly. She's in her late 30s. Contraception isn't as easy in a woman's 30s. I don't know anything about that. I don't know about how difficult or easy it is. I can tell you, I think I can talk about this on YouTube, that the last time that I went to the doctor, keeping in mind I'm 44, I'll be 45 this weekend, my cervix has moved. Did you know that your cervix moves in premenopause and perimenopause and menopause? And so I can't use the same menstrual cups that I used before. I do not know how that would affect people who are using inserted types of contraception, but yeah, that definitely has been a weird change nobody told me about was going to happen. Last resort was March 2024. She got pregnant only 3 to 4 months after, maybe July through September. I think she's doing April, maybe May. More French. Ooh la la. More French, Becca says. What else do I know how to say in French? Pomme. Pomme de terre. No, terre, pomme de, like potato. Oh, that reminds me, earlier, Tanya, you said that Natalie should reconnect with her burnt potato. That was actually really funny. We should pull up more of your comments because you're hilarious. So yeah, I think I completely understand the like moral objections that Linda has towards having a relationship with multiple parties in it. It's just like for me, when I look over my own family and when I look over, extended families, it always happens. The man of the family will cheat and have a baby with somebody else, will have multiple like for me, it's always been happening. It's just now that women get to say that's what I want to and have the benefit of those multi-partner relationships as well as opposed to the man being the only one who does it. So for me, I think it's um a little bit more reasonable of a situation than past situations. So I guess that's why it's a little bit easier for me to stomach than it is for Linda to stomach. After 35, there is a plummet in fertility for women. Yeah, I know that. So my few friends who waited until our late 30s, early 40s to have kids, a lot of them did have to get assistance. And some of them just got pregnant like right away as soon as they got off birth control. So I remember when we first met Gino and Jasmine, Jasmine was like, well, we had agreed that we were going to have a kid, but I'm staying on my birth control. I haven't told him yet. And then when she arrived in Michigan, he asked about it again, and she said, "No, I don't want to have kids here until my children have a chance to come here as well." So she was opposed to having kids with Gino, and then he stopped having sex with her. So the commentary that's like, "Oh, she wouldn't have a kid with Gino, but now she's having a kid with Matt," maybe she would have changed her mind about having a kid with Gino if he was having relations with her. It just so happens the person that she was having relations with was not Gino, it was Matt. And that wasn't necessarily her choice. If she had been at the resort and, oh, Linda's calling me. Let's see what's going on. Or I'm going to mute really quick so I can just see what's going on with Linda. She's coming back, you guys. Just a minute. Duty calls, that's all. My job is a regular daytime job, but her job is a 24-hour job. So duty calls sometimes. What was I ranting about? I don't know. I don't remember. This is a good time to say oui, oui. More French. Let's read some more comments. I wish Darcy would have kept the key that Tom gave her, and Darcy gave the key to Natalie and said, Josh wanted me to give you this key to his house in Vegas. Listen, Tanya has been on a roll in the comments. I was just reading some.
Tanya's the G. Tanya, I don't know if you're a writer, but you should think about it because you're very funny and clever.
If you don't run some kind of blog or write some, short coffee table meme type stuff,
yeah,
you should. Absolutely. All right, Linda, take it away.
So back to Florian. Florian says, you're the reason, why there are issues. You're the problem. Jasmine's freaking out. He consoles her. She's like dry heaving, having a whole like anxiety attack. And he's like, just calm down, be strong for your two kids. I thought that was really an important note to make. Like, he knows exactly what's going on. And Jasmine gets a lot of flack for her children still being in Panama. Which, by the way, you guys, just super side note, if you're not an immigrant, you probably don't understand this, but this is not what Jasmine has done is not brand new. Many immigrant families, the father or the wife will go abroad for a better life and they'll go without their children. They'll get established, save money, and then what they say, quote, call for their children, for the children to come. The children come and they don't have to struggle. They're already established, so they can get the children in school, do the thing, provide for them. So all these people like, where are your children? Ah! You guys do that to Larissa. You did it to Jasmine. I'm sick of it. It's because, listen, y'all need to go and travel so you can understand how the world works. Not everything is so American based, and not everything is done the way America does things. Doesn't mean she doesn't love her children. It means she loves her children so much that she's willing to be away from them to provide a better life. So all like y'all are just like, you know how sick of hearing you all talk about send them back. Who's sending whom back? Who, explain to me what you mean. Who has that authority to send a naturalized citizen or a green card holder or someone who's in the process, who's married to an American citizen? Who is the person that's sending them back? Explain that to me, because I'm sick of hearing it from you guys. And honestly, I'm just gonna be honest, because that's all I know how to be. Y'all sound ignorant. It sounds like you don't know and you've not traveled and you're being a little bit racist. I'm sick of hearing it. Do your research, know better, and be better, and spread more love. Life is already tough enough for you to be talking trash about people that don't really directly affect your life. This is entertainment, y'all. So don't bring the politics into it, and don't bring it in being friggin' a hypocrite, not knowing stuff. Okay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Gino says, just be with your wife. Oh, April, I feel like you have something to say to that.
I know. I mean, I said it before. I'll just insert it here so we have it on the record. If you don't even know which of the men come to the U.S. who have children back in their home country, then don't talk about what Jasmine's doing with her kids. Treat the men who have children and leave their kids the same way that you treat Jasmine. I bet you don't even know which one of them have kids.
Yep.
People who say that. Right.
So Florian and Gino get in this fight. Gino continues to say, just, get with your wife. Gino says, no, I need an emotional connection. Florian's like, you're the problem. Gino calls him a B, and they start like going to fight. And I laughed because Gino thought he was literally going to throw hands. And I was like, have you ever been in a fight in your life?
In your life.
Florian's 32, and you're a drunk. Like, I literally said, Gino is a drunk and disorderly. That's my note. Because I said this before, I do think he has a drinking problem. He drinks a lot, and he drinks every day. April.
Yeah, he does drink a lot. April? And the last person that I'm about to get in a fight with is somebody who's Eastern European. No, thank you. Part.
My note says, who knew Florian and Stacey would be the voice of reason this season? But A, they're the most stable couple. They're the first ones to recommit to each other. And they are the couple that has the least issues. And the issues that they have, I respect the fact that they communicate. All right, on to Brandon and Julia. They're having a picnic. Julia feels like she showed her insides and her past to Brandon. She feels relieved that she doesn't have any more secrets. She says she's open to getting a second opinion about a baby, and she wants to know what about her parents. And Brandon thinks her parents are going to cause problems in their relationship because he feels her parents are problematic. So what are your thoughts about that, April?
I wish that he would give us an example, because I don't recall seeing what interactions he's basing that on. So what is an example of what he's talking about?
Facts. That's fair. Recommitment ceremony is coming up. Gino slept in a separate room because he needed time to think about his drunken behavior. Jasmine's a mess. And Jasmine's like, I don't know if we're going to recommit, because what are we going to recommit to? And I thought that was a fair question that was not answered. And no therapist was like, side note, this is what you're recommitting to.
Right.
And, you know, I don't want to continue to, well, I guess I do. I need to understand what this therapy was, because I'm not seeing it, and I'm 17 episodes in, and I'm just really concerned for people who are thinking that they want to go to therapy and they think that this is what it looks like, because it's not. This was not therapy. This was just literally a couple's retreat, April.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, God. What is happening? Y'all, listen, today's the Monday of Mondays.
So, Tanya, I actually agree with you. I am not a fan of Brandon. If you are considering having a baby, this is what I would say to you. Only do it if you are prepared to be a single parent to a disabled child. If you cannot answer yes to that question, then don't have a child, because having a kid for someone else or for a relationship and then having to become the sole caretaker for that child can build a lot of resentment. It's not a good situation for you. It's not a good situation for the child. So only if you can enthusiastically say, yes, I still want to be a parent in that circumstance, then don't do it.
Tanya said Julia lived in that old dusty farmhouse with his parents. Why can't her parents stay with them? Tanya, if you replay what I said last week, I said basically the exact same thing. I didn't say dusty old farmhouse, but same thing. April, why do you have your serious face on?
No, I just agree. I don't like the situation that Julia is being put in here. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that she's been given any kind of, like, nobody has even said to her directly, do you want a child? Do you on your own want to have a child? Do you want to deal with the serious consequences of that? I mean, there are lifelong things that can happen to your body through childbirth. Do you want to go through that?
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys. So I went to Antarctica last year. You can find videos on my page. It was a fantastic trip. I had to wear a friggin' diaper on our days off the boat, because once you go off the boat, there's nowhere to use the bathroom, like you're out in the wilderness, right? A regular person could do that, but me, from childbirth complications, I cannot. So in order to not have to cut my visit on land short, I just had to wear a diaper so I could enjoy myself to be outside the entire day without having, like, that is a lifelong change that comes from childbirth. And I'm not with my ex-husband anymore. He got to go off and frolic and have the life that he wanted, to do everything that he wanted. Meanwhile, if I have an event that I'm going to with my job, we would have a work retreat and they're going to take us on a party bus, I have to think, where am I going to use the bathroom for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
I'm in court sometimes. Like, we get a 5-minute break before we make our closing statements. I want to use that time to prepare my closing statement, but I've just been sitting for 3.5 hours. I got to use the bathroom. So the conditions under which they are allowing her to agree to go get a second opinion to have a baby really bother me.
I agree. I mean, thank you for sharing, because those are things I had not thought about, and you're absolutely right. Christina, I don't agree with you at all. I do agree that in a marriage, major changes need to be discussed as a couple. However, they got married. She had no input on where they were living their first years. They just lived at his parents' house. She had no say in any of it. So I don't think he should be surprised that she's doing the same thing, because she didn't have input. Now he doesn't have input, and they're both in the same place. So I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I also think that you'll have to remember how she got here and how she put up with a lot of stuff that she had no say in just because she was the immigrant and like the newest person in the family. So that's not okay either, Christina. Okay. Stacey's writing her vows and she wants Florian to write vows. Florian's like, I'm going to speak from my heart. And favorite line of the episode, I think deep, don't worry. Florian, you're the best. You're the absolute best. I think deep, don't worry. And he does. All right, Rob and Sophie, is it too far gone for the relationship? Already answered, yes, it is. I don't know why we went through all the hoopla. Can I ask you guys something? Live chat, if you're watching the replay, and it's the Canadian of me and in me that doesn't understand this sentence. And April, as a highly educated woman, please explain it to me. Why do Americans say, where are we at?
Okay.
That's my question. Because, grammatically, that makes zero sense to me. Where are we at? What do you ask? What's the question? Where are we? Where are we now? Where are we go? Like, what are you saying? What's the verb there? At? Where are we at? Are we at the monument? Are we at the hotel? Please explain it. Thank you.
It's a contraction, but
it's not a contraction of what?
It's a contraction, but I think because the accent
of what?
Gets cut off, where are we at? But it's contracted into where we at. Where are we at?
Where, I get the contraction and where. It's the at part.
Yeah.
That's not a contraction.
No, it's not a contraction. I thought you were the first part. The at.
No, I'm talking about the ending it as at was a verb. It's not.
No, it is. I guess. I mean, I'm not a linguist, but I completely understand the phrase. It means, where are we in this relationship? But I cannot give you the history.
So it only applies to relationships? Because I've heard people say, like, where are you at?
Like, where are you at? Yeah. Where are you at is asking for a location. But where are we at is asking for a relationship status or a work status. Like, if we're working on a project together, where are we at? Where are we at in the project? If we are in a relationship together, where are we at in our relationship? But if I ask, where are you at? I'm asking for a location.
You know what? April,
yes.
Christina.
Yes,
Christina, who's saying, quote, hold on. It's not coming up. It's implied she's saying, where are we at emotionally? Where are we at in making decisions? You all don't even know what you're talking about. You guys are all saying different things. I don't think any of you guys even understand what it means.
Me and Christina just said
and that is not in a
Me and Christina just said the same
thing. Christina continued to say, in the process of whatever we are discussing, where are we?
Correct. Yeah, this is not even a necessarily regional thing. I think this is pretty universal among Americans. I could ask my boss when I used to work at the regular firm, so where are we at on this? And that would be regular speak. It wouldn't, that's not.
Where are we at on this is a complete sentence though.
Yeah, so where are we at?
It's not
I could go into my boss's office and say, hold up a folder, particular client, where are we at? That's not
Connie and even Joslo, my fellow Canadians, can you weigh in on this? Because it is not computing, and April and Christina are not. They're not
Yeah.
explaining it enough for me to understand.
Somebody who can give you a linguistic breakdown can explain it,
I
because
just
I
need
can
someone
only
else to
understand.
understand what I'm saying, because where are we at is it sounds terrible, and I can't wrap my
I
mind
mean,
around it.
American English by and large sounds terrible. So
Tanya is the only one that is making any sense to me. Tanya said April and I are in luck. That's great. Tanya says, I think it's just broken in proper English mixed with slang. That
I wouldn't even necessarily say it's like improper English,
it
because
is
I think
improper.
Measured by what?
Grammar.
By whose grammar?
Oh, so is American grammar different than the rest of the world?
Yes.
Oh,
I would say British English is definitely different than Canadian English. It's definitely different by American English, and then there's also regionalities between it.
I will disagree with you. British and
like
Canadian English and grammar are the same. The only difference when you come to Canadian English and grammar is when you get into like francophone provinces like Quebec and translating French to English and that grammar. But writing and sentence structure, Britain and Canada are the same.
So if you go out and get Chinese food and you bring that Chinese food home, what do you call it?
Takeout.
Okay, so you say you have Chinese takeout, or you say that you have a Chinese takeaway?
Yes.
Which one? Both? Either?
Both. Either or.
So this linguistic, I came across all these videos on TikTok where British people were saying that they brought home a Chinese. And this linguist broke down, why did they say, I've got a Chinese? I've got a Chinese, instead of saying, I brought home Chinese takeout. And it came down to a difference in how American English is phrased and British English is phrased. I would not say, I'm not going to measure American English by British English standards. I'm not going to accept that they are the standard of what English should be, the same way that I won't accept that French in France is the standard of what French should be. So I wouldn't measure somebody in Cameroon speaking French and say their French is broken because I'm comparing it to French and France. I'm gonna allow them to have their own French.
We all know as travelers that France is, when you say je ne sais quoi, French are bougie. They even think Canadian French is like ghetto French. So anywhere else that's not like Parisian French, they look down on. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
So yeah,
okay.
Slang would be something that I would not write in a paper, like if I was writing a paper to submit for it to be graded. So I'm rethinking who was it? Tanya said earlier, it's improper broken English mixed with slang. I wouldn't say it's improper English. I would say it's not formal English that I would write in a paper.
Okay. Yeah, I say in the hospital is American for sure. Okay, you know what? Clearly, we're gonna have a whole other show about this in grammar. I'm gonna leave it at that because we're super sidetracked and we have so much more to get through. Robin, Sophie, it's over. Basically, that's all. That's it. That's all. Gino and Jasmine slept in separate rooms, and that's where it was. Where are we at now? Which this is where we are at now. That sounds so ridiculous. Gino wants to commit. he's open to the best option for their open monogamous, non-monogamous, ethically non-monogamous relationship. I'm a jerk. I did that wrong on purpose, by the way. But it can't be Matt because he feels that Matt and Jasmine are too close already. And they have a bond that is concerning him. And I literally said, LOL. So it's concerning you now? Why don't you just treat your wife better?
All of this back and forth, If he was to just go ahead and have sex with her and then she still pushed the issue, then he would know for sure what's going on. Thank you, Christina.
I just want to say that, Christina, go ahead and DM April for all future issues. DM her.
No, Linda, you clearly have like very good advice and you're a very good friend. She's not taking that away from you.
Oh, and I don't feel like that's being taken away from me. What I'm saying is that go ahead and put all that on your plate because you guys already are like on the same page. And then it's like less time explaining why I think all the things that I think. That's all. Christina. Just joking. Love you, Christina. Okay, so where are we?
So you just said that.
Oh yeah. Gino is like upset that they have a bond and it's concerning to him. And I literally put LOL because now it's not just a bond. She's having his baby.
Yep.
She told Gino that Matt was not negotiable. It has to be Matt. And here again is where I'm saying that whatever you guys are saying, ethically non-monogamous, monogamous relationships are, that's not it. She had feelings for Matt. She wanted to be with Matt. She wanted her husband to say it was okay. And that's why it was non-negotiable. And so when Rob said that she's manipulating you, I agree with that because if it was truly indeed about having an open marriage, then it wouldn't matter who you inserted into the marriage. And like April explained to us last episode, now that they're both on the same page and Gino is open to having an open relationship, then they should go through the journey of picking out who that person is, what the rules and regulations are, and to make sure they're both comfortable. But because she's already in love with Matt, and I don't care what y'all say, she's already in love with Matt. She's emotionally connected to him. She's having his baby now. All the things. So that's why she said it's non-negotiable. She wants to be with Matt, but she doesn't want to give up her marriage. Here we are. So she starts crying. She tells Gino that she's loved him for years. She's sorry, all this stuff. Yeah, you're sorry because your heart knows that your heart is elsewhere and you're trying to get your husband on board for you to ethically go and cheat. Stop it. Just stop it. April, just stop it.
Yeah, this is maddening. And nobody is asking Gino, or at least I don't remember anybody asking Gino, hey, why don't you just walk away? This is not working out for you. This is not serving you. Why don't you just walk away? The options being presented to him are to either agree or pick someone else.
Yeah.
He's not being asked, why not just leave?
What's 5X? Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't want to separate. Like that's the part that I guess has me hooked still because I don't understand it. So the girls all get together. It's Sophie, Stacy, Julie, Jasmine, and Natalie. They're all contemplating whether they're going to recommit. They're all going to wear white dresses. I'm just going to leave that alone. I had a whole thing I was going to say, but I feel like I'm just going to leave it alone right now. Natalie doesn't want to be alone. She feels hopeless and alone. Again, I want to say, Natalie, the fact that you place your self-worth in the fact if you have a man or not, a lot of women do that. I know a lot. I have friends, a lot of friends that are like that if they they base their whole being in their relationship. And I want to tell you, ladies, right now, it's March 31st, 2025, that you are enough. You are enough, whether you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, you are enough. And I don't want you to allow any man, any society, any location of where you're living to make you feel like you're not enough. I want you to know that if you're not following the old rules and regulations and standards of what a successful woman looks like, that it's okay. You're on your own journey. And if you have the courage enough to love yourself, to figure out what makes you happy, and that you're healthy, that's all that's important. And I'm saying it from a place of growth. I'm saying it from a place of, I learned a lot about myself in the pandemic and what my wants are and what my needs are and who I am as a person. And, I was the first person at like 21 that I want to be married. I want to have 2.5 kids, the white picket fence, blah, blah. And my life didn't turn out like that. And I had to reconcile those things as I got older because I saw that everywhere around me was different. All my friends were like married with kids or single with kids or on their third or fourth marriage. And I was like, oh, at first I internalized it like Natalie is doing, like what's wrong with me and all of that. But you have to do the work because it's not what's wrong with you. It's what makes you happy. What are you willing to live with? What are you willing to settle for? And I personally will tell you, never settle because you don't need to. You can be on your own and be amazing and thriving without settling. So just use all of that however you want to use it. And I hope that you feel encouraged. And I hope you know that you are enough. That's it. April. Okay, so that being said, I feel bad for Natalie, but I also think Natalie is very smart and is running her own situation. So they all get ready. And this was my second favorite part is when so the men come in, they're all like hosh posh and whatever they're wearing. All the women are wearing white. And April, did you see how Natalie was walking down the aisle like it was a runway?
Yes.
Did you remember that? I died. This is Natalie's walk, LOL. Definitely model behavior. When she was, y'all, if I could stand up and walk for you so like you guys could see it if you didn't see it, that was entertainment. She walked out like she was walking a runway. I was like, oh, Natalie. Oh, Natalie.
She is good TV.
She's great TV. So they all sit down. It's Heidi, the therapist, Reba, the therapist, the only one that I respect, James, the therapist. And Heidi says, hey, thank you guys so much. You did the work. And my note literally says, LOL, wow. What work? Because what did y'all do that gave them work to do that they're better now than they were, 16 episodes ago? I didn't see it. Did you, April?
I did not. I did not see the work. I'm sorry.
Tanya said, Natalie auditioning for America's Next Top Model.
Natalie is always making moments that can be clipped. I don't know if she does it on purpose or not.
It's genius.
It's good for her.
It's genius. All right, so we're at the recommitment ceremony. We start off with Stacy and Florian, which I want to talk about our predictions on what we thought. So my prediction was, yes, they were going to recommit, and yes, they did recommit. Florian says, you're my everything. Sorry about all the bad stuff. I love you. I want to be with you. Stacy wrote her vows down. She's like, we're approaching the 10-year mark. We have our challenges. I'm older and wiser. and I know what I deserve, and I don't know if I should just let you go. And then they did this dramatic music. Cut to commercial. Everyone's like, oh, is she gonna leave him? And I was like, y'all,
No.
this is the only piece of production that they did well, because they had a little suspense that I was like, what's gonna happen here?
Mhm.
I knew what was gonna happen, but this was highly and beautifully produced. She then comes back after commercial, after you think she's leaving him, and says, sorry for the bad times, but I am not going to leave you. We're together forever. I'm going to listen more. I'm going to talk less. And God is going to guide us through the rest of our relationship. Yeah, not surprised. April, was it your prediction?
Not
that they
surprised. It was fun to have a little drama, a little but not surprised. Of course, they're staying together, and I still want to see them on more shows in the future. Bring them back as an expert couple to give therapy to the other couples, because they'll be better than the therapists that were on the show.
100%. Sophie and Rob. Woo. And I'm reading my notes. She said, mine is different. I wrote a letter to my younger self, and to my younger self, I said, self, you're strong, you're beautiful. I need you to stand up for yourself. I need you to feel confident, and you're going to make friends. You're going to get married to not your dream man. You're going to be happy with him for a few years, and you will always love him, care for him, but he is not the one. Whoa! Where do you go from there?
Home.
Facts. Bye. She said it all. She said it all. Rob says, you pretty much said it all. And he wouldn't say what he wrote. And it's over. She cries. They hug. And she's like, we're just not good together. I'm not happy. Rob takes off. And he literally says, quote, his heart fell out of his ass and he's still processing. But given everything that we've known about the relationship, this is not surprising to me. And I called that they were not going to last, because, we saw all of the domestic issues that they were having, the name calling they were having, the immaturity that was in their relationship. They should not have ever gotten married. April?
Yeah, it seems like the only time he believes that they've been getting along the past couple of days, but that's only because they were overshadowed by other people's issues. They get along when they're talking about other people. So, no, this wasn't a good match to begin with. I'm glad that they're separating when they're young instead of forcing themselves to stay in this for very much longer.
Yeah. Am I going to get to that later? Rob did share with us that he was going to recommit. He had like 3 pages that he wrote. He kept the first 2 pages private, but talked about how he was going to give it one last chance, have Sophie move out to LA and do the whole relationship over. It was very heartfelt, you guys. You could tell that he spent time thinking about what he wanted to say from his heart. But I mean, too little, too late. Because you can't force
also, words don't matter at this point. Where's the actions?
That part. Brandon and Julia. Julia said that they took a big step by coming to this retreat. She appreciates Brandon participating in this therapy. Julia brings out this bag where she's still carrying the stones from the 2nd or 3rd episode. And it's the rocks where it was the children, baby versus parents. She's like, I agreed to get a second opinion about the fertility, but what about my parents? Are you going to compromise? And he said, when I got here, there were a lot of things I went through: jealousy, anger, distrust, deep hurt. But now I feel trust, connection, and love. And then y'all, he said he's willing to help get her parents to the U.S. I don't know. I don't know. April, you go, because I want to say some stuff, and I just think I should probably wait a minute.
If I love you, I want you to be able to see your parents. It's not a thing that I'm going to be reluctantly agreeing to. I enthusiastically want you to have your parents in a community and have friends and have a full life. If somebody is isolating you and does not want you to have your own life and access to your own friends and your own family, but they want to force you into having a child without having that kind of support, that is not love. That's my opinion.
And dare I say, I would like to add to that. And I'm adding the fact that he's saying that he now feels connection and trust and love. That you didn't feel this connection and trust and love before you came here, but you feel it now because she's now agreed to have a baby that she doesn't really want to have in order to keep her marriage. What? Like, okay. But he goes on. See, I crossed my arms because I'm not impressed. Brandon says he realized that the relationship was strong enough to work through any of their issues. And I want to say again, for the umpteenth time, if y'all think that this is what therapy looks like, you're highly mistaken. They didn't work through any issues, as far as I'm concerned. No couple resolved any of the issues that they're really having with any true therapeutic tools that they were given that they can go home and use. I don't believe it for 1 minute. Rob is packing. He's sad that Sophie feels relieved that the relationship is over. He feels hurt. He was going to recommit, and now he just wants to get out of there. Sophie also wants to get out of there. She wants to be alone, needs a blanket to like cry her tears away. But she said something, and I was going to write it down, but I just didn't feel like it. But I'm going to paraphrase, and you guys know how I am with sayings. But she basically said, if I wanted to, I would, I did. And the past is like, I don't know, I'm butchering it, forget it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it's
April,
okay.
do you know what I'm talking about, though? When she was sitting on that bench and she said, if I wanted to, I would. The future is in the past. The past, I don't know. Whatever. It sounded very like intelligent at the moment. I was like, oh, that's really profound.
Yeah, I'm glad she's done. Move on, little English muffin.
So yeah, they didn't recommit, and I called that. Oh, hey, Hermes. I just love seeing some of the people I haven't seen before, and I'm so happy to have you guys here. That's so very cool. Last but not least, Jasmine and Gino. Jasmine says, I choose you, Gino. Promises love, tenderness, devotion, protection, blah, 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 blah. I laughed when she said all of that, you guys. And then Gino said, is that all you had? Is that it? Love, tenderness, devotion, and protection. Is that it? Gino says he vows to fight less. He wants her to listen to him more. He wants to grow a bond. He loves her, doesn't want to lose her, and he won't give up on them. And I was like, how is that any better than what she said? Because again, you made it about you and your needs, but what do I know? She says at the commitment ceremony, so does that mean open marriage with Matt specifically? And again, I already told you where I fall with this. She loves him. She wants to be with Matt. She's having Matt's baby. Fast forward, everything I'm saying is self-fulfilling prophecy. And he says yes. He wants to work on their emotions, their connection together, so that eventually, when they're emotionally connected, they can cancel this open marriage. They kiss. He says "ti amo," which really reminded me of the other Mike. If you guys remember Mike and Jimena, is that her name?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, terrible. All terrible. Americans, stop acting like you can speak Spanish, and when you say Spanish things, just don't butcher it because it sounds terrible. That's all I got. I want to say so much more, but I think I'm just going to be on my best behavior today because it's Monday. It's been a Monday, as you guys see. There was technical difficulties, all the things, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Comment in the live chat, comment in the replay, and we'll respond. April, what do you want to say?
I'm really looking forward to seeing more of Florian and Stacy.
That's what you want to say?
That's all I got.
That's funny.
Yeah, because it's fun to be entertained, but I'm having a moment right now. I want to see more happy relationships. I want to see more successful relationships. It is pretty, not that I'm looking for a relationship right now, but it is pretty sad. Like, it's just sad when you look out over the world, over your friends. Well, I'll speak for myself, over my friends, over my family, over people that I know in real life. And I, unfortunately don't see much happy relationships, And I said this to my sister and she got really offended. She's like, "Oh, you don't see me and her husband as a happy relationship?" I was like, "Absolutely not. I don't even know why you asked me that question." So I'm in a moment where I want to see more happy relationship. Give me some hope, people.
Becca said, in the year 2025, we would like some real love, please, and thank you. Yes. So, and the internet, I'm going to put it out there. I do want to find like that person and be in love and do the happily ever after and all that stuff. But I cannot online date and I work all the time. And the church that I go to is older demographic, older. So they're either like older, or they're like been married for like 15 years already and the kids are grown. So if you guys have any tips on where I can meet people, then please let me know. And don't tell me like I'm not going to go to the club and like the gym is the gym. That doesn't work. The grocery store doesn't work. Like if you have actual real tips, I'll take them. That being said, you guys, we will be. Abby, did you see the cherry blossoms?
I did, Hermes. I went out over the weekend to the Tidal Basin, but I am going to go back. This coming up weekend is my birthday weekend. So I'm going to go back out.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Abby April, the attorney. Happy birthday to you. Go see the cherry blossoms. Live your best life. We love you at the Melanated Way. And we're happy to say you're our friend.
I love this.
Blessings to you. Many blessings to you. Many blessings to you and Taylor forever and more.
Woo! Thank you. I love to have a song made up about me. I do that for my nieces and nephews.
I am a mess. All right. And that being said, you guys, we're wrapping it up. Are we going to TikTok today or what's the story?
I don't know. You can decide. I know you're super busy and worn out. Do you feel like it?
We can do 10 minutes. Head over to TikTok because I really actually like what we do over TikTok. It's fun.
Okay. Come over to TikTok for a couple minutes. Hang out with us, you guys.
You're frozen, but I have audio at least on my end. Oh, I'm sorry I froze for you. We love you guys. We'll see you again. We're going to cover 90 Day Fiancé, the regular one, this week. Probably Friday, April.
Okay.
Bye, guys.